Good morning, guys. How are you all?
Good morning,
Hi, good morning.
Sagar.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning,
Hi.
sir. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, all.
So, guys, session would be recorded. Okay. In fact, it's been even live streaming on our YouTube channel. So, if someone miss it, you can come back and you can also watch it. Let me give you the link. So, let's wait for another 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. We have participants from various time zones. Guys, I have not started. Okay, we are waiting for 2 to 3 minutes and we will get started. All right, guys. So, good morning, everyone. And I hope you guys can see my screen and I'm audible as well.
Yes.
So- Okay, so guys, so this is a demo class for network automation. So before we moved on, why don't you guys introduce yourself and let me know or let other audience know what is the reason for joining these session, or what are you expecting to be covered here, or what are your future goals, or are you into the networking field already? Because there are sometimes students when they see the term Python, they get confused with the software development as well as the network development, right? So are you on a right course, and are you on a right platform is something what I want to get to understand, so that I can also bring my course in something which is good for the student who are into the networking. Okay, so this is purely network automation. I'm not going to cover the software side of Python or a server side of Python, or Python can be used on various platforms irrespective of networking. All right, so we are into the networking side, and we would be focusing to automate the network in the sense these devices that we deal from Cisco vendors, or Juniper, or could be a Arista box, HP. There are a lot of vendors who are producing their routers, switches, firewalls, right? So these are something which we would be discussing. So take some time. Let's go 5-10 minutes. You guys feel free to unmute yourself and let me know what is your expectation. Where do you stand? Have you already been into these sorts of automation stuffs? Yes, guys, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I'll go first. This is Mohammed. I'm in US. I work as a network architect, and I have a very basic knowledge of Python. And my main goal is to work with ACI. So in my company, there is a lot of automation. There will be a lot of automation for ACI. So, and I have no idea about it. So that's why I want to brush up my skills.
Okay, definitely, Mohammed. Thank you. So who is
Hi,
going
I
next?
am Rajan.
Yeah, hi, Rajan.
Yeah. Hi, Sagar. Yeah, so the same with me. I work in a service provider environment where we use different boxes ranging from Cisco ASRs to Juniper and Fortinet. So I'm looking forward to learn Python where I can use in a day-to-day basis to automate stuff. There is a lot of automation going on in our company as well. Hopefully I can learn something and probably put it in real world scenarios, put it in practice.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Sagar.
Hi, Sarkar. This is Ishwar here.
Yes, hello, Ishwar. Tell me.
Yeah. See, as Rajan said, even I'm into service-based industry. Even nowadays, everything especially for automation, his main goal is to reduce the repetitive tasks. So that manual effort will get reduced. So to put it into production environment, even I am showing interest to learn Python, to automate things. This is what
Okay.
agenda to I'm looking out for this course. And I have very basic knowledge. Even one banking client I wrote failure testing of the links, two links. So I only
Okay.
wrote script. So, and we I put it into production, and now it is production going well. So
Okay.
I want to put more into, I want to learn more how API will be using to automate few things for even SD-WAN, even all even into even ACI, Cisco ACI as well.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And hi, so this is uh, I've been in this networking for about more than 10 years, but I never learned anything related to programming or automation. And I find there is a need for learning automation and a little bit of scripting along with the basics of the networking knowledge which I already have. So, and also it is branching out into virtualization and also storage a little bit. And I wanted to know how the Python and some of the languages play into network automation and fabric and the data center technologies. And so basically that is what I wanted to. But my question will be complete novice who doesn't have any kind of information or any kind of knowledge on anything related to programming or coding. Um, is this okay? Is it okay to catch up with this course? That's my
Yes,
question
yes,
to you.
yes. Yes. I will go ahead and I'll also tell you why someone who has no prior knowledge on Python or coding, how can they get going with this course? Okay. So we
Okay.
will come to that topic as well. So is there anyone else who want to go ahead and
Yeah,
Hi,
hi Sagar.
yeah, it's me, Srikanth.
Yeah.
So actually, I wanted to learn this course because actually I'm the only engineer working with 100 plus firewalls, and I do not have any others to support me. Right? So
okay,
it is very difficult to take like for an example, taking manual backup. It takes me around like more than 2 hours, 3 hours. So I wanted to have automation implemented so that those basic things would be quite manual, and so that I can invest my time to make some other things implemented in my environment.
okay, good, okay. So this course is
This is
definitely
Ranjit.
for this is course is definitely for you guys only. Those who are looking to take backup, who are trying to automate. Okay. Yes, go ahead, Bharat. Go ahead next.
This is Ranjit.
Yeah,
Good
Ranjit. Yes,
morning.
please. Good morning.
Currently, I am working in SD-WAN testing. So in
Okay.
this, all frameworks are in VTest frameworks. They are using Python.
Okay.
Somehow I understand the Python flow. So that's why I need to understand that automation. And going forward, I move the career in the network automation path. That's why I chose
Okay.
this course.
Yeah,
Okay.
good morning. My name is Hamza. I already started learning Python, and as you know, the future it is going for automation. We have to take this one
Okay.
because the traditional network, I think it will be changed soon. I don't
Okay.
think, yeah, because of this, I'm going to this path.
All right. Okay. So have you worked? Have you worked, or this is your first time you're gonna take it up?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, Sagar. This is Sachin. I am also working in the service industry and having the 10 years of experience in the networking.
Okay.
Definitely, we are looking for the automation where we do get daily the work which we do like in quantity, like so many tasks we are doing parallelly on manual, like creating the VLANs, adding the VLANs, interfacing the VLANs, monitoring the sub interfaces, monitoring the health of the devices. These are all things we would like to automate with the zero touch provisioning. If I wanted to install any new switch, is there any way we can program that switch and insert to the existing network like that? So definitely automation is the going forward path for the all network engineers. Yeah, every organization is looking for automation and wanted to eliminate the manual efforts, working hours for the individuals. So this is what I would like to learn from the automation. Ansible, like we do have some script for the FI load balancer. We do get
Okay.
the uh, fit status monitoring alerts from the Ansible. So these all a combination of these all tools, we would like to enhance our day-to-day operation as well as the how we can automate without downtime in the existing network.
Okay. Okay. Good. Great.
Hi Sagar, this
Uh,
is Amy.
yeah. Hi, Amy.
Hi, I'm working also for a service provider in Canada, and I would like I have zero knowledge about the Python, but I would like to make more like adding the skill, and I need to support to my team as well for the automation. So that's the reason I have to do this course.
Okay. Fine. Great. Welcome to the course.
Hi,
Okay.
Sagar. My name is Jem.
Hi, Jim.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Doing great.
Yeah, I would like to learn Python because I would like to know how to pull the logs in from the switches, from the routers, the firewall, or maybe even the monitoring platform like PRTG. So that is going to simplify to find the root cause of the issue, and then also automate for a large scale deployment. And if that is possible, also would like to do the zero touch deployment using Python or Ansible, things like that. So my background is really zero in terms of Python, but I've been working on the networking side of it. So that's about me. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Hey, hi, Sagar, this side, Pankaj here.
Yeah, hi Pankaj.
Hey, hi. I'm looking forward to have some kind of flexibility which our existing tools doesn't give. So kind of, I'm looking forward to this course to kind of be equipped with the knowledge where I can customize the Python script so that certain condition in something will get triggered to me as email or some kind of the reach to some threshold. I should get a notification, or some parameter in the WAN link has reached the threshold. I need to get the notification. That kind of customization I'm looking forward in solutionizing some solution in my work scope. So is it possible?
Yes, yes, definitely, it's possible.
Thanks.
Okay.
That's what I'm interested. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. So
This is
yeah.
Piyush. I just need to check one thing more. Uh, I'm more into engineering side of things than operations. So what?
Okay.
I'm very deep into NSXT and Cisco technologies.
Okay.
NSX I've been working on for a long time. So will we cover any REST APIs and stuff where you can actually configure things using REST APIs towards NSXT and networks?
Yes, we
Will we
do
cover
have
that?
REST API, Netconf, and the other API protocols. Okay.
Okay. So we can use those for NSXT as well, right? And we'll cover
Yes.
not exactly NSXT, but we'll cover the API part.
Yes, I'm covering API to show you the
Okay.
automation on SD-WAN vManage. Okay.
Mhm. Okay. 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 Fine. Thank you.
Hey, Sagar, this is Robin.
Yeah, hi Robin.
Although
Yes.
it's, yeah, let me reintroduce myself because I was part of your last batch as well. So, because due to the time difference, I'm in Melbourne. So it used to be like 4 in the morning in the earlier batch, and most of the time I was like sleeping when you were teaching. So yeah, so that's why I'm here to cover off what was left in the last one.
Okay, fine. So yeah, this is a complete different time, right?
Yeah. Now this time it's completely suits to me. So it's
Okay.
like yeah, quarter to 3 at my time.
Yes.
So yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. All right. So anyone else who wants to brief about themselves, or they wanna tell us why are they here? Okay. So if everyone are done, then I'll mute everyone for next couple of minutes. Okay, so that no one comes up unmuted and disturb us. Okay, and then after 15-20 minutes I'll give a quick unmute to you guys so that you can ask me any question, or if you want to repeat something, then I'm more than happy to repeat it again for you guys. Okay, so guys, from the small conversation, what I understood is there are a lot of guys who are working folks with good number of experience, but then Python is something which they want to upgrade and use this upgraded skill set to bring a value added skill to their production, right? So let me tell you guys, I have seen in my previous batches students with the 4 into CCI have enrolled the batch. Still, the guys like the starters or freshers, I can call it as that way. So people with these uh, range have been enrolled and been upgraded their skills. Okay, so it's basically the course gonna help lot of different students here who are either working or might be they are freshers. So this course is gonna suit you. So don't worry for the from the course level that this is something which you've never been worked, or the coding, the one which always everyone used to run out of it. So do not worry, because we start from very scratch. Okay, so everyone will get lot of time to practice, and everyone will be in a place where they can start writing their own code after some days after the class, right? Okay, so before I start with the codes, let me just tell you what this codes consist of. So I usually call this course as 10 in 1. Okay, the reason is inside Python library or inside Python language, we have close to 7 different modules that we would be covering in the class. Okay, so starting with netmiko. Okay, from netmiko we go to the telnetlib. We have paramiko. We'll go towards the pyntc. Then we'll go to the nornir. We'll move towards the scapy, and we'll also move towards the subprocess. So these are like 7 different modules, or we can also call it as library. Okay, Python library. So each module here is being developed by a full stack engineer, full stack Python engineer. And we as a network engineer do not have to spend time on writing these libraries. So we are gonna call them inside our script, and then we will go ahead and start developing our script. Let's say, as you guys already told me that you wanna take the logs, or if you wanna take the backup, right? So these are some tasks which is related to the network engineers, which we do it normal in our normal day-to-day production. But writing a script or writing a library of 300 line is out of our scope. We as a network engineer cannot learn a different language and then start coding that language and then use that in our production, right? That's something which is gonna be the highest challenge for any network engineer, because you folks are already 10-15 years. If you spend another 2-3 years to learn the python coding in the sense to develop these libraries and then use those libraries in your production, uh, that's gonna take a lot of time, and it's gonna be not feasible at the same time, because you as a network engineer, you would focus on the CCI track or CCNP track or CCNA, or you go with ACI or any other network related track. You will never focus on studying a complete end-to-end programming language. Like if I ask you, go and learn C++ or learn Java, it's not gonna be feasible. Being working for, you cannot dedicate your time to learn another language. But if I say there are modules in Java or in C++, which you can call it inside your script, and then with the help of another additional 10 lines, maximum 10 line or 15 line, you can develop a script which can fetch the backup, or it can configure the VLANs or configure OSPF, or if you have to fetch something and make a good CSV file or an Excel file, you can do the job. So how much time are you investing? You're investing only like, let's say, time that's required to write 10 lines of code. Again, these codes do not change every time. I mean to say, the skeleton of the script will remain every time the same. Okay. So let's say you have written a 10 lines of code to take the backup. Okay. Now, the exact 10 or 11 or 9 lines, whatever the next requirement could be, you can use it, you can reuse the same lines of code to write another script. Let's say now this was to configure OSPF. Let's say you reuse the code again those 10, 12, 13 lines of code to do a multi-vendor automation. Okay, so you spend some time on learning first 10 lines, and those lines get reused on every script, right? So on top of this, there is a 300 line of code which the full stack engineer has written, and it's available open source. Okay, so you need to know Python or Ansible or all these modules which I written, they are open source. They don't need any sorts of license that you need to buy, or you need to spend some uh, expenditures on this. These are completely free. Okay, so these 300 lines which is already available, we call it as library, somewhere available publicly. Okay, we use them. We first have to download it, which is again free to download, and using that library whichever we have downloaded, we will write another additional 10 lines, and we will get going with our networking script. Okay, that is the whole intention. That's why don't be worried about learning Python. It's very easy. Okay, don't think that you're gonna learn 300 lines and also then you will be learning so many different things to get your automation done. Okay, so script to script, the most of the line or the basic skeleton or basic structure will still remain the same. Okay, so it's only that you need to know when to use what type of syntax and when to use what type of for loops or while loops. Okay, so which we will cover in the class, where I will show you lot of scripts and lot of examples to go through every scenarios. When I say scenarios, guys, help me, what type of scenarios do we normally deal in the production, right? So if I start with the basic logs, or if I tell you about let's say SNMP polling, okay, or taking of a backup, or let's say if you want to configure something, configure it could be VLAN or OSPF or BGP, right? Any configuration related to any configuration. What else, guys? Do you want to tell me something? You can make use of the chat window if you think there is something which you do it in your production and you're looking forward to automate it. Okay, let's say multiple device you wanna configure. Okay, yes, your ACL. If you want to create an ACL, again, that's part of the configuration. Okay, if you wanna configure ACL or standardize ACL, have you guys heard about the regex, regular expression? Okay, so that is also doable. Okay, yes, we can do a lot of CDP, STP. These are all the fetching of the output. That is what we call it. Okay. Have you ever been asked to get you the serial number or the uptime or the device model in a CSV file or an Excel sheet? Have you been in such circumstances where you had to manually go and get these things sorted up, right? Now I can tell you one single script of 15 lines can give you a CSV file with all these details. Okay, the CSV file can contain all the details like uptime, device name, device IP, the serial number, the processor ID, everything. Okay, just one script. Yes, we can do health check. We can do health check if a device is up or not a simple ping, or you can make use of SNMP, which I've already written here. Okay, so these are all the majority of the deliverables that we do in the production, right? If I miss something, let me know. Okay, but these are something which we normally do. Yeah, check temperature, CPU, processor, these are all coming under the fetch command, right? Anything that deals with the show commands, show log, show processor, you can include in the fetch thing. We call it as fetch. Okay, so these are something which most of the most of the network engineer does in their production environment. Okay, and we can automate all these things. If you want them to be done in one single script, feel free to do it. Or if you want them to be done in a different scripts, like one script for configuration, one script for regex, or one script for show command, you can go ahead and do as that way as well. It's up to you, because you have the knowledge to go ahead and write the script. So who is stopping you? You can go and use it the way you want to, right? So, guys, this is something a brief on the network automation. Okay, so before you think, or before you decide or misjudge that this course is something which is going to be tough, I just wanted to brief you that no, that's not the way. It's gonna be very easy, and you will understand the logic on using this scripting. You will also be able to write one in next 5 to 6 class. Okay, I can guarantee that you will start writing your own script, because when I give a lot of assignments, students start working and start developing their skill set on automation. Okay, all right, so let's proceed. So before I walk through the session, I'll introduce myself. Most of you guys are aware of myself, because I've been training automation and devnet for last couple of years. Okay, so last year 2020 itself, I think I went more than 500 students whom I trained online. Rest my courses are on Udemy. I don't have a full-fledged course on Udemy. It's just a 3 to 4 sample videos which I have in the Udemy, which itself has more than like 20,000 students who are attending from worldwide. Okay. Apart from that, I also teach CCNP, devnet. Okay, security topics like firewalls, F5 load balancer, and I have 10 plus years of experience. I'm CCI written, waiting for the CCI lab to come up. So once it's up, then I'm waiting for my first CCI rank. Most of you guys also would be on the same boat, where they are looking for the CCI labs to come up. Due to the pandemic, it's been closed for more than a year now. Okay, all right, so let me proceed. Yeah, this is where my Udemy course is located, with 16 plus thousands of student. Okay, and also we have a YouTube channel named Network Journey, where a lot of sample videos are being pasted. Yes, this is where you will also get the recording for the today's class. Okay, so if you go to Network Journey YouTube channel, the present class, the guys who are attending via Zoom, this is going live streaming on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so if you miss something, don't worry, come back to the Network Journey YouTube channel, and you will get the access to that video as well if you missed anything. These are the web pages. Okay, where we have all our upcoming courses. We just started with the CCI, SD-WAN, and CCNP topic as well, and we have a uh, dedicated firewall mastery 5-in-1 topic, where we cover all the five firewalls in one single combo package, like Palo, Checkpoint, FortiGate. We have F5 LTM here. We have ASA and FTD. Okay, so five different top technologies under single combo. We have the SD-WAN already started up. We have Linux, we have the AWS solution architect. Okay. We have the CCNP course. And along with that, we just started up with CCI Enterprise Lab as well. Okay. So this is just for your knowledge. If you're looking for any course out of this, feel free to take demo and then you can decide if you wanna go ahead. Okay. Well, so this was for the today's class, which I had designed saying demo one. All right. So as usual, I always want to understand from student what they understand by automation or network automation. I already asked you this question, and I also got a fair enough answers saying that automation is to automate the thing or simplify, or if you have a repetitive task, you can feel free to go ahead and automate it, right? So let me also write few more points here. So automation, I agree, they are always repetitive, or if you wanna simplify the task. But there is one more important thing here, which a lot of guys have not told. That is to avoid human errors or as well. Okay, we have been in production scenarios where we've been given the change window, and during that change window, it's asked to execute a lot of different changes, right? And there is possibility I do a silly human error mistake. Okay, if I have a, let's say I have a CR123 and I have another CR345. Let's say this CRs were for the iOS upgrade. Okay, so here the ask was to upgrade from 16 to 16.5, and over here the ask was to upgrade from 13 to 15. Okay, let's say this was a Nexus box and this was a iOS box. And what happens most of the time is the engineer who is executing, they do it and they mess up on it on this high level. Okay, they might copy the code on a different CR, or might be they put, or they might reload the CR which was meant for the next day window. This happens most of the time. Even if you're doing a simple copy paste, let's say you're configuring uh, 10 VLANs. Okay, you are asked to copy that on 20 devices. You might end up copying this on a device that was mentioned on another CR. These are called human errors, and you cannot avoid it because the level of frustration that you have during that change window, and let's say you parallelly are also the engineer who is handling these priority one calls, right? And at the same time you're doing all this change activity, you will be more tendent you would be doing a lot of the human mistake, right? So this is one more reason why we automate these stuffs. So once we automate, the things are already part of that script. You just have to start it, that's all. That is the whole intention when it comes to automation during the change window. Okay, in the change window, the change repairer or whoever has planned it, he will not expect the executor will do any sorts of changes in the script, or he's gonna do any manual checks or troubleshooting. Everything will be done before the change window. It will be put up in the script and it will be given to the tool. Your work is to sit in front of the tool and run that and just make sure things went in a good way. You will just compile it, you will get the final report, and then you will push it to the next team saying that change is done. Okay, as simple as that. That is from your change window point of view. Let's assume you are troubleshooting the BGP issue. There are 15 routers in your network, 15 BGP routers in your network, and one of the BGP router lost its neighbor or lost its ISP connection. So as soon as this happens, there will be the P1 call initialized, because a lot of uh, team from the server team or application team, they will see the disconnection, or their softwares or their application will stop working, and the first thing they will engage is you guys, the network guys, right? So once they engage you, now you will have very strict SLA of 15 minutes to get into this and give some explanation. Right now you cannot log in such scenario to all the 15 BGP routers and then check which interface went down, what ISP was it connected to. Right, it's not gonna be practically feasible. So you can develop a Python script. Okay, you can run it. The Python script will check all the 15 device, and then it's gonna tell you that router 10, let's say router 10, which is connecting to ISP AT&T, okay, with the circuit ID of 12345 is down. Now you can at least call that in the call that the circuit is down and you're going with the ISP ticket or the next level of the troubleshooting, right? You have your SLA maintained now. This 15 minutes, I just gave it as a random number, but I have seen the P1s in some production company are also 5 minutes. Okay, it can be also very aggressive of only 5 minutes. So in such scenarios, you cannot log into the box, and moreover, logging to the box, finding the box itself is very challenging, because those engineers who work on the shared customer environment, you guys will have 300s of customer under you. Right now, let's say if an alerts come for a customer called as XYZ. Now to find his inventory or to locate his device and then logging, it will definitely take you an hour if you are into the shared environment. If you are a dedicated to a single account, then at least you will be aware of your network or what's going around. But I know engineers who've been handling 300 customers like these. Uh, if you remember the package one, or especially the package one or the low cost package, these package will be given to a lot of small customers, right? And for these small customers, the company will not hire 10, 20 engineers to handle these things. One second, guys. Okay, fine. So there is where the automation comes into picture. Again, now if you move towards your API things, if you're focusing from vManage, if you have, let's say, there are multiple sites, okay, and there are a lot of V edges or C edges involved. Now you can also write a Python script over on API call. API are in nothing but the REST API, okay, or Netconf. You can write your script on Python to fetch all the inventories for the V edge or C edges and get you an Excel sheet. Okay, so Python is seen everywhere. If you talk from your the traditional networking, the old school networking, the three-tier architecture, from access layer, your distribution layer, and the core layer, Python is available there. Okay. Now, if you go towards the modern networking, that is the overlay technology, or also called as SDN, right? So we can see Python on ACI. We can see it on the SD access. Okay, that is your LAN and campus network. Also, you can incorporate Python with the SD-WAN. So tell me now, what is the domain which Python is not able to handle? So it's a right time that you get into the Python scripting. Don't think of doing a very high scale development. but start from some node so that you you can go ahead and you can do a lot of things in the upcoming stages. Okay, so don't think of learning everything in one single day. That's not never a uh, never gonna be possible. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. I've just written some documents. I'll send you this as well. So what you need to do is you just write me an email. Let me drop my email on the chat, and after the class, I will send you this document, because this document has some Python script and some EM scripting as well. Okay, yeah. So that's the email ID where you can send me an email, and I will send you this document. Okay. So what is network automation? It's all about automating, configuring, managing, testing, deploying physical or virtual boxes that all of us know about it. You can also simplify the repetitive task. Okay. And you can also avoid the human error, which I just talked about. Okay. A lot of people doing a lot of human error, which cost a lot of OPEX or the operational expenses to the company. Okay, if you are a network engineer for a company called XYZ, now this company is an partner for another company, a large company. Okay, so if you're performing any change on 1 2 3, and if you do a human error or if you do a production loss, these people will put a huge penalty on XYZ. Okay, so now XYZ will not uh, be expecting such huge financial expenses, so they will definitely go with automating the stuff so that their engineer can take it in a right way and in a simplified way, irrespective of spending so much of penalty to another company, right? So that's about automation, repetitive human error, and all the rest what we know, taking backup, deploying, configurations. That's all network automation. Okay, again, very similar slide. Why network automation? Okay, so as I was talking about the change windows, CR, change request. Okay, it's not possible to do lot of changes in single change window, right? So we need automation nowadays, because I remember last 2 years back we had received a project where we had 4,000 of the catalyst switches which were supposed to be upgraded in let's say in 1 month. Okay, so we had to write a Python script where we could automate the stuffs, and we could see, automation is one part. The reason why we do is automation, but the second part is there shouldn't be any outage by performing these upgradation, right? Because device sometimes can lose its protocol, like the layer 3 protocol, the convergence, right? Some protocols will not converge after the reboot, or some can go to the Roman mode, or some CDP protocols are not working. So how do you find it out? You see, I agree. If you are given 10 routers, I know what you will do. It you will quickly go and you will do the iOS copy to these boxes, right? And you will change the boot variable and you will reload. That will take 5 10 minutes. But what are the circumstances that could occur if the protocol will not converge? Let's say you were running OSPF and the neighbors don't come. Will you expect you will check every box for the neighbors and all those things manually? It's not possible, right? So we are writing a automation or a automated script which will do the work of changing the boot variable, copying the iOS, reload, as well as it will do something called as pre and post check as well. Okay, it will collect all the show commands, all the 10 show commands that is your standard, and also it will do the diff check and it will tell you that this is down now. Let's say on this router, after the upgrade, the gig 0/1 interface is down, right? So everything will be shown up to you saying that this is this, this is this. Now you can accordingly work on raising RMA, or if you have any other team, escalation team, you can send them and they can take it forward, right? So that's a end-to-end thing which is required when it comes to a network change. That is why I have mentioned that. Okay, why network automation? And you see here, that is what the operational cost also uh, the company spends on, which is 2 to 3 times higher, right? So by doing these automation, the stuff can be simplified. And again, it's a open source. Your company will always look for a cost cutting, and this is where the companies are doing right now. They are cutting down the expenses, and they're looking for network engineers who have the automation skill set. Okay, so right time to upgrade your skill set. Again, this talks about some expenses and some challenges that the traditional the companies has. Okay, so 95% of the time the changes are done right now manually. Okay, there is where the automation is been worked upon. When you do a manual change, you will see the configuration errors or the inconsistency in the network. Why do inconsistency happen? Because let's say you had three routers, R1, R2, and R3, and let's say the configuration here was a different one, over here there was a different configuration, and this was a different configuration, and you did a mistake during the change window by copying the change of this to this and of this to this. Now that's a inconsistency. Okay, so here is where again the automation comes into picture. You will avoid doing yourself some configuration error and inconsistency. Okay, again the other reason is expansion. When you're expanding your network, when you're increasing another 100 of routers, or uh, if you're bringing up a new data center. Okay, so things can be done simplified. It can be simplified now. So let's say you have 100 of routers coming into picture, you have 50 new firewalls. Now you don't want to do it in the traditional way of copy pasting or taking backup, then doing a manual copy paste, right? You can do it automated, complete automation. You can fetch all the show backup things and store it somewhere in your TFTP server, and then you can write the change plan and you can push it. Okay, and again, the last one, which talks about the downtime and non-remote troubleshooting, that was we talking about, right? The BGP scenario, or let's say some OSPF scenario, or some STP scenarios, or CDP, any protocol, any troubleshooting that you do in your day-to-day production life. So, in short, we will be touching all these scenarios in our class. Okay, so I'm gonna discuss the scripts, different scripts for different scenarios here. How do you write a script to handle the network change, or configuration error, or inconsistencies, or if in case you want to expand your data center, you have a requirement where you need to get with a script uh, which can do the new configuration role. Let's say you have 10 routers, and each router has its own configuration, right? Now you can write one single Python script, and then you can execute it. So it will go and push the R1 config file to R1, then R2 config file to R2, and then R3 to R3. Okay. All right. So any doubts, guys, so far? Because the next topic, I'll unmute you guys. We will have a quick 5 minutes of Q&A. Okay. And then I'll talk about the different ways to automate.
Yeah, I have only one doubt. Now you
Yes.
told right that 10 routers we can push the file from router 1, router 2 like that.
Yes.
If possible, in the router have one image, we will upgrade, we will downgrade the router means. Is it possible through the Python code?
Yes, when you can do upgrade, then downgrade is also possible. Only thing is,
Oh.
whatever command you're pushing, that should be supported, and your router, if see, almost all router can be downgraded, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
We
if
need to install that in Roman mode. Normally, manually, I do in make in Roman mode, and I install the image. Then after that, I change the config register.
okay, yeah. So you can also do this in the scripting level as well.
Okay, okay. So
Okay.
it is very helpful to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
Sagar. Yeah, Sagar.
Yes.
Like you said, like iOS upgrade, right? So
Yes.
with we can automate iOS upgrade. So let us take like iOS is copied in somewhere in somewhere in the network like FTP server or
Okay.
FTP, okay, or somewhere in the local system, I mean local server or system. So how many devices we can at a time we can do this iOS upgrade? Suppose I have 3,000 devices. Can we do it in one shot, like how it is?
Yes, we can do in one shot. Okay. So we can run a Python script to all these 3000 device to be reloaded and change the boot variables. So that's doable.
That is
So
doable. Yeah.
automation is irrespective of numbers. You can do on one single box, or you can do with thousand of boxes. Okay, but yes, there are some precautions that we take while writing this script. We will expand the execute timeout values and all, so that it can handle all these number of devices.
Okay. Then might be, suppose if it is a few devices, iOS version is different, then there might be some class we have to mention. Is it?
See, if it is a different iOS number, then there is a different approach we can use to automate. If all 3000 routers are on the same software code that you want to upgrade, then you can make use of one single script. Or if you have different target code, then you can go it in a different approach.
Okay. Okay, Sagar. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, Sagar. So actually, we normally don't log in the devices directly, and we use VDI or jump server. So is it possible in that way also? We can automate the things,
Yes.
taking the log.
Yes, so I know about that. So let's say, well, when it comes to taking SSH, there are three ways to do that. The first way is your simple line VTY. The second one is using the RSA. Okay, so in this case, there is no need of password. And the third thing was, as you told, you will go to the terminal server or jump post server, and from there you will take the access of a router or switch, right? So we can, let's say my laptop is here, and over here I have my Python script. So from here I will first go to the terminal, and from there the terminal server will go to the router. We call this method as a redispatching method. Okay, so I will also cover up this scenario.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Sagar, I just want to ask whether creating the site-to-site VPN or any connect in Cisco ASA or Palo Alto can be also automated?
Yes, we can automate the IPsec tunneling also.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
Oh,
we can push any number of lines, 50 to 100 lines in a single script. Or let's say in your scenario, to those guys who are not able to understand, let's say I have a router 1 on one data center, and on another data center I have a firewall, let's say a basic firewall ASA. And if I want to make a IPsec tunneling over here, right? So with the automation, what I can do is I can prepare my text file or an Excel file or whatever, okay,
yeah,
on both of these, and then I can write a Python script. And when the Python script is executed, it's gonna ask me that enter the config file for R1. Okay, And at that time, I'm gonna just I'm just gonna call this. Let's say this is r1.text. So I'll just type r1.text, and all the files, all the configuration file from that text file will be printed to the box. And once that's done, it will move towards the second box, enter the config file for the ASA box, that is this one. And let's say I had named it as asa.txt, and now I can also configure that. And once this is done, we can go with the show crypto IKE commands or show crypto IPsec command to make sure whether the tunnel is up or not. Okay, so that is also doable.
It's good. That's what I need. Thank you.
Okay.
Sagar, one question. The script or automation we are learning in this course, is it directly related, or can we be able to use this for SDN, SD access, DNA center, and IBN, etc.?
Yeah, so guys, I showed you on my first slide the 10-in-1. Might be I didn't go to the next ones. So see, this is gonna cover 7 library. Okay, this is one among this. Then comes the Ansible, okay, which is my 8th module. Then comes the devnet topic, which is 9th, and then I also have the Python 3 theory to be covered, because most of you guys are not non Python side. So I will also cover a dedicated Python 3 theory, which is 10. So this is a 10-in-1 module or combo pack. Okay. So now to your question regards to the SDN automating, that comes under this topic. Okay. Where we will have the API, and where I will show you how do we write a script, or how do we automate, or how do we fetch the vmanage, or if I have a DNA. Okay, so I will show you these examples in the devnet topics.
Got it.
Will that cover Cisco eyes as well?
Cisco eyes, if I get a open stack image somewhere in the devnet or somewhere, we can do it. But in the devnet sandbox, what Cisco is offering us are always on vmanage, or I've seen Meraki, and I've also seen the DNA center, but I've never seen eyes, which needs uh, I have not seen eyes. Might be they have the different approach over there. Okay, but again, automation is everywhere. If we have a valid image, we can also do it on our labs, the local lab. But eyes need a lot of resources. Okay.
Sagar, I guess this one, ICE is there, but wireless is not there. I guess Cisco. I mean, if you check in the cloud, I think ICE is available. I guess.
Is it always on, or is it it needs to be reserved?
We need to book this thing kind of thing, schedule kind of thing.
Okay, but that will be not feasible in the
Yeah,
class duration.
exactly. Yes.
Okay, anyways, guys, so we are covering 99% things. If 1% is not there, but the same knowledge will be applicable on eyes as well. All right.
But Sagar, as a course content, like for Cisco DevNet, everything is covered, right? So we
Yes.
should be in a position to like go ahead and give DevNet exam.
Yes. So we are covering 100% of the Cisco DevNet.
Cool. Thanks.
All the topics from the DevNet will be covered.
Oh, okay. Based on that, I can able to take the test, right?
Yes. I'll come to the DevNet track
okay.
right now. Let me also talk little bit on the DevNet topic. How many guys are aware of Cisco DevNet certification, and how many doesn't aware of this thing? Anyone here who have never heard about the DevNet exam?
No.
So all are
No.
aware of the DevNet?
No, I'm. It's new.
No,
for
I
me.
am not new for me.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll just take some time on on this DevNet thing. Okay. All right, so let me place you guys on mute for another 10-15 minutes. So coming to the devnet, guys, we been into the Cisco for like 10 years, let's say. You might be in the world of routing switching and the different tracks like security or data center or the service provider, right? Now these routing switching and all things have gone completely. Okay. So what Cisco has done is Cisco has revised, okay, and they have come with the label enterprise now. And this enterprise consists of all routing switching topics, the security topics, or the wireless topics, okay, and 10% of automation inside this. So this automation is just very basic. You will not get a lot of practical knowledge out of it, but just that Cisco wants to include automation and give more emphasis on automation thing. Okay. So this enterprise, I'm talking from the CCNA point. So under CCNA, now we don't see any track called as routing, switching, or security or wireless. Okay. So there is no data center or service provider as well. Nowadays, we have only CCNA Enterprise and CCNA Cyber Hops and CCNA Collab. Okay, so we only have these tracks. So the new enterprise, which is gonna contain the topic from routing switching, 65% from routing switching, another 10-15% here, another 5-10% from here, and remaining from here. So this is how the enterprise is. And once you get done with the enterprise, then you can go towards the CCNP enterprise. And this paper now again is not consisting of routing, switching, and troubleshooting. So those days are gone. Okay. Now we have enterprise, and enterprise consists of two modules. When one is Ncore and the other one is NRC. Okay. So this is the enterprise track, and this is a paper which is also gonna be the common paper for your CCI return these days. So if you get done with the Ncore, then it's good as you're done 50% of CCNP and you're done with the CCI return. So those people who want to focus on CCNP can go ahead and get with your NRC module so that you are 100% CCNP. Or if you don't want to spend time on NRC and you directly want to go to the CCI rank, now you'll just have to go and start preparing for that 8 hours of lab. Okay, because you are already NCORE certified, that is gonna give you the badge of CCI return. Now you are left out with 8 hours of lab paper. Okay, and right now a lot of regions the labs are not being opened. So once the labs are being opened, you can of course go and attempt your paper. Okay, so this is your traditional routing and switching, which is revamped in this structure. And along with that, Cisco has also launched something called as devnet. And for devnet also we have the three tracks. One is CCNA DevNet Associate. Okay. Once you're done with that, you will go towards the CCNP DevNet, which is called as N-Auto. And then very soon, the CCI DevNet is also gonna get launched. Okay. So right now this is under pipeline, but Cisco has already started marking this as upcoming. So that means they will come, they have a plans for CCI. Now you can focus on your CCI on enterprise as well as you can focus on these track. Okay. So on parallel node, Cisco has introduced DevNet. That means the need or the demand for this automation is increasing. Okay, and if you just follow with the devnet topic, there most of theory topics included. That is why while we were going with our syllabus preparation, we introduced the practical topics along with the theoretical topics. Okay, if you just go with the certification or if you just go with the clearing the devnet, it's just gonna be the theory part. Okay, there is no much practical involved, but that is why this course is in such a demand that we cover Python, Ansible, Nornir, and along with this, we also cover those other modules which I had shown you in the first 10-20 minutes. Okay, so it's a complete practical along with the certification is how the syllabus has been prepared. Okay, if you want to check the syllabus copy, you can go to Google and search for the exam code 200901. Okay, so let's say Cisco devnet 200901. Okay, guys, I will give you this PDF after the class. All you need to do is just write me an email. Oops, I think I sent personal. Okay, yeah, so you write an email to this so that I can forward you. Okay, okay, coming back to this devnet, you can go to the exam topics here and you can have your PDF syllabus PDF copy. Okay, so here is where I was talking about that API thing which we will discuss. Guys, you have to email me. Don't drop your email on the chat window because I cannot take everyone's and I cannot send. You just write me an email asking for the presentation deck and I can send you. Okay, so we are going to cover all the 100% topic from this. All right, and if you look for the the Cisco cert in 2020 and 2021, they have been revamped. So if you click on these security things, which was used in 2019, okay, so these are all been gone, obsolete from the market. Okay, the new CCNA has replaced. See, retired. So these were all most of you might be aware of. So these are all gone now nowadays. Okay, these are not existing. Okay, so let me take you to the latest one. Okay, the one which we got was the older one. Yeah, so this is where. Okay, so under your associate level, you only have CCNA now, and this CCNA enterprise consists of all security, wireless, and 5 to 10% of automation. And then parallelly, you also have a CCNA devnet, and this is what we will be having in this course. Okay, and when you climb the ladder, you have CCNP, then you can go towards CCI. Okay, you have collab, data center, security, service provider, and respectively, you will also see the CCI track. And over here, associate, if you're done with associate, you will move towards the professional. And the CCI is yet to come. The CCI for DevNet is yet to come, but definitely it's been pipelined. Okay, so which you will see in few months from now. Okay, so this is how the certification lies right now. So this is the 2020-2021 thing. Okay, I see a question put up that is it necessary to be CCNA certified to start CCNP? No, guys, you can straight forward go to the CCNP directly. Okay, you don't have to write CCNA and then go to CCNP. Nowadays you can directly move towards CCNP. All right, so let's come back. let's come back and let's see where we previously. Okay, so we were gonna discuss about the different ways of automation, and I think I need another one to 1.5 hour to go through the rest of the module. So why don't you guys take a quick 10 to 15 minutes of break, and then we start. What do you guys say? It's 10:16. I think we can meet up at 10:30. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me write over on my screen. So right now it's 10:17 here in IST, and we will sync up at 10:30. I think that should be good, right? 10-12 minutes of break. So have your coffee, tea, lunch, dinner, and come back, okay? All right, guys. So I'm on a mute, and we will sync up directly at 10:30. Okay. So enjoy your break time. Welcome back, guys. So, are you guys back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Sagar,
Yes. Go ahead.
can I, yeah. For the devnet, can we go direct to devnet professional, or we have to take the devnet associate certificate?
You can go to professional as well, but since this is a very new topic, most of the guys go with the associate and then they climb towards the professional.
Ah, okay.
Do you offer Sagar also something in the professional segment as well in terms of
Yes,
coaching?
and
Okay.
auto. Yeah,
Okay.
we are launching that course in the coming month. So I'll
Okay.
notify about that as well.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, Sagar, you saw in one slide that the Cisco SD-WAN, right?
Yes.
In your website, I can get any videos for that SD-WAN.
We have started with a live SD-WAN batch itself. So
Oh,
once, yeah, so you can enroll to the live class, or you have to wait for the class to get over if you want self-paced.
oh, oh, okay, okay. When is it an ongoing or in
Yeah, it
when
is a
only?
ongoing. It's a
Oh,
ongoing. We just done with the two classes.
oh, next batch when it will cover?
Next batch in the upcoming month.
Okay. The duration also in weekdays or this Saturday and Sunday?
Right now the SD-WAN is during weekends only. We
Oh,
will see next batch. We might think of keeping Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday weekdays.
oh, okay, okay. Weekdays means how many hours?
See, for weekdays we normally keep 1.5 hours, whereas
Okay,
weekend we try to keep it 3 to 4 hours.
okay, okay.
Hi Sagar, just a quick question. I went through the entire automation and devnet course content.
Okay.
Okay, just a question on that. I hope the course is not about Cisco devnet exam, right? Associate exam, and it's a different content, right?
It's a custom content what we prepared. So DevNet is a part of it, but that is
After
not just the whole content here. We are having 7 modules from Python, Ansible, Python 3 theory, which is totally out of DevNet, and then we are going to the DevNet topics.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, fine. All right, guys. So let's proceed with the important thing, that is different ways to automate. So, guys, when I say different ways to automate, I'm not talking about the configuration push or image push or troubleshooting. It's something to understand how many ways we can automate these devices. Okay. So, the first way here is EEM scripting. So, have you heard about EEM anytime? Those experienced guys who have done CCNP and CCI, you might have heard about these EEM. Uh, I don't expect from the freshers at least. Yeah, so embedded event manager. Now this is a old school automation. Let's say you have a router, you have a switch, you will go to the console of this, okay, and then you will do a and then you will do a kind of simple 5 to 6 lines of automation. Now this EEM comes with different flavors. Okay, you can automate a interface up or down status. All right, guys. Sorry, let me change my screen presentation. Okay, so are you good now? Okay, fine. So this is the first way of automation, which is called as EEM, Embedded Event Manager. So let's assume you go towards the router or switch, you go to the console, you just do 5 to 6 lines of these EM scripting, and you can automate these stuffs. Okay. Now automation here can include interface up and down status, or a CPU bandwidth thresholds, or if you have to mail the logs to someone, you can do that. Okay. I'll give you one small example now, but let me tell you, this topic is also the part of your CCNP current paper called as CCNP Enterprise. Okay. So if you go towards that Encore paper, you can see the EEM topics being included. That's why I thought I'll include in this automation topic, so you know the different ways. Okay. So this is the one way. And if we move to the next slide, these are the applet scripting. How do we do it? Let's say if I take you guys to my lab, okay? So this is what the lab you guys would be getting into. So those guys who enroll to the program, you will be given 3 months of remote access to our labs, okay? So this will have the Catalyst iOS switches. We have the routers, okay, we have a ASA firewall, we have Arista, we have the Junos firewall, okay, and also we have a Linux box where I will be showing you the terminal server examples. So these are few ones which we have in the lab. If you want this in your local lab, you can also get it. I will provide you the UNL file. The images you can directly download from the respective vendor. They are freely available. I will guide you through in the class. Okay, how do you build the remote? How do you build your own lab? Those guys who cannot afford running this, this is gonna take it needs at least 16 GB of RAM, okay, with i3 or i5 processor. So if you have this, you can run this locally. If not, then you get 3 months of free access to our servers, and you can practice it. Okay, so we'll give you the required softwares as well, so you can play around and do the automation. All right, so let's say if I take one box from here, a Cisco iOS Catalyst box. Okay, so I'll go to the user executive mode, then I'll go to the global configuration mode. Let me develop an EEM scripting. So what I need to do is I have to call the event manager first. Okay, event manager applet, and then I just define a word. So let's say this is an automation way to bring up an interface which goes down. Let's say that interface was your ISP link, and you don't want the ISP interface to ever go down for some reason, right? So it should automatically do a no shutdown so that the interface can come up automatically, right? So let's say this is just a word. So let's put it as interface unshut or something like that. So once you do the first command, the parent command, you will get into its category, or you can now start writing its own command there. Now you can define on what circumstances this should get triggered. Okay, so you will say when an interface goes down for some reason, there will be a syslog message generated. Okay, and that syslog message pattern you need to define completely. Okay, so guys, how do you think the syslog message or any interface going down looks like? So let me give you an example. If I go to a conf t, if I have an interface, if I just let's say first let me do it no shut, and then if I do shut, there will be a auto syslog message generated saying that this interface went down. No shut, and then yeah, see, now you can see here shut. So these are called as syslog messages. Okay. And this happens whenever your interface goes down, and we need to take the advantage of these syslog message. So I'm gonna say that when the syslog message pattern reads out to be interface, let's say this SW3, it has a all gig interface within it. Okay, you can see here these are all gig 0/0. I will definitely not bring my 0/0 because that's the management interface. So let's write the complete pattern. So Giga Ethernet. Let's make 0/2 up and down for testing purpose, and then define change state to administratively down. Okay, so this has to match with the syslog. If you do a mistake, then this will not get triggered. The key point here is the triggering factor. If the syslog will generate this, this will automatically get triggered. And if you do a spelling mistake or a, these are all case sensitive, if you do a mistake, then this will not get triggered. So that's the key point here. Once you're done with that, now you will define your action CLI, what needs to be done. Okay, and there could be 5 different things that you do. You go to enable, you go to conf, you go to interface, so and so interface, and then so that includes 5 different steps, right? So I define them under action with the numbers 1.0, all those things. And then I say the CLI command would be first to go to enable. Okay, so action 1.0 CLI command. Okay, with the inverted comma. Once this is defined, now I'll define my second action command 2.0. Once I'm inside the user executive, now I can go to the conf t mode. The third action plan here is to go to the interface which is down, interface GI 0/2. Okay, my fourth action command should be to make a no shut. Okay, and then my final action command should be to come out of that mode. You can give a quick end to come out of the global configuration method. We can do a quick testing here. So if I do show IP int brief, so right now my interface are up and up. Okay. So what if I make it down? So when I make it down, the syslog message should appear automatically, and that should be the triggering factor for my EEM scripting. Okay, so did I do shut? GI 0/2 and shut. Okay, so syslog message said it went down. Okay, so this is the triggering factor. Okay, and if you have not defined in the right way, chances are it will not trigger it up. Okay, so it has not triggered up. What I'll do is I'll copy the exact line, and then I'll prepare my the EM scripting. So I'll come here, and I'll just paste it up. Okay, that's why I said it has to match the exact line. Okay, otherwise it will not get triggered. Okay, so I first will go inside the main command. Okay, and then I'll define this. interface gig ethernet 0/2, change state to down. Okay, and then rest are the same thing. The action lines 1.0, 2.0, okay, 3.0, 4.0, and then finally 5.0. Okay, so let's see what is the current status of the interface. So it is admin down. What I'll do first is I'll make it up and then I'll shut it down so that it gets triggered up. So let's say no shutdown. Okay, and if I make it no shut now, sorry, now if I make it shut down, okay, so you can see my EM script has been triggered. So I have enabled debug to make sure whether my EM script gets triggered up or not. So what happened here is when it went to admin down, this was captured. Okay, the moment it was captured, that was the triggering factor for my EM script to come up or to get enabled. Okay, and what it did is it started going with our action lines. It went to enable, it went to conf t, it did interface gig 0/2, it did no shutdown, and it came out of the mode. And now we have the result of this is interface is up. If you want to do a quick show it in brief, you can see interface are up and up, right? This is very simple automation. If you want to enhance it, you can also enhance it. Okay, by enhancement, what I'm trying to say is if you had to also enable some email notification about this interface flap. Let's say 4.0 and 5.0. All right. Now, what you can do is you can also write another action plan called as who. And what it does is it's gonna email as well. So we can call it as action 6.1 mail server. So if you do a question mark, you have the different methods here. Okay, so one among them is send an email. So if you do a mail, if you do a question mark, it's gonna ask what is the CC address, what is the body text of that mail should be, what is could be the from address. So let's give something, let's say from at gmail.com. Okay, if you do a question mark, okay, so this is gonna be your address. Okay, so let's say this is from this IP or so and so device. You can then define to whom are you going to send it. So let's say you're going to send it to knock xyz at the rate xyz email ID, which is your knock team. Okay, you can also define the from address. You can say auto eem at the rate cisco.com. Might be they are different team who are sitting at different location. And then you can also define the subject line. You can say that so and so device, let's say ISP router, the gig interface fluctuated connecting to AT&T circuit. Okay, so what happens is your next team or your knock team, they have a fair enough idea on what happened and what triggered this. So that basic level of troubleshooting has been solved now. You can include the body of the content, okay, interface up or interface whatever status. So this is also doable in the case of EEM scripting. You'll write your script and then you can also write whom do you want to send, okay. And irrespective of these things, you can also enable for your syslog. You can also enable for your SNMP. So what I shown you was the interface status, and I showed you the mail part. But you can also do it for syslog, or if you have a TFTP server, or if you want to, uh, you can check it directly here itself on what and all it supports. Event manager, applet. Okay, just give some name, let's say XYZ, and then go with the event and question mark. So over here, you can go with syslog, tag identifier, timer events, okay, SNMP pollings. You can go with the application specific event, CLI events, configuration counters, if an interface counters breach the threshold, environmental events. Okay, so there are a lot of options for the EEM scripting. But again, our focus is not on EM scripting. I just wanted to give you a fair enough idea that this is one sort of automation which is possible. Okay, it's a part of CCNP enterprise these days, and I took it as first way to automate. Okay, the first way to automate. Now, if you move towards the second way to automate, this is the key factor for our course syllabus. Here is where we will be going through the Python, Ansible, and the Python 3 theory. Okay, so this is where these all are placed. Python, Ansible, Nornir, and 7 more modules. So to show this lab, I first want to demonstrate you what are the tools that's required here. So we need a Python installation. 3.x is the current version. The 2.x is out of the market now, out of is obsolete now. So we make use of Python 3. We need a software or a tool where we can write and we can push the scripting. Okay, we call it as IDE, Python IDE, and there are a lot of good examples here. Like you have PyCharm, okay, you have these Microsoft Visual Studio, and you have softwares like Item or Idle. You can also make use of these Sublime Text or Notepad++. Okay, so one, two, what are the other things that you need? You need a router and switch where you can test it. Okay, you can also add firewalls, or you can add some Linux box, because you will be writing your script here, but when you execute it, they must go and interact with the router and give you the uh, fetched output, right? So you need some router and devices. So router and switches, you cannot get the physical box, so you make use of GNS3 or EVNG, okay, or the PNet labs, or you can also go with the CML. So there are plenty of options here. So in my case, Python 3, PyCharm, And I have all these, and we also provide GNS, EVNG, and PNet. Okay, so we have all these options. We will give you the setups so that you guys can have it on your local machine. Okay, now fine. So let's go to one of the example. So you have already seen the lab where we have all the different vendors. So tomorrow when we come back, so guys, this meeting will remain valid for the next class also. So you guys are feel to come to the next class. So in the next class, I will do the multi-vendor configurations. Okay. So today I will just show you, I'll walk through the basic thing. So what we need to do first is we first have to download the latest Python. That's the first thing when you start with your automation. You need to have a Python installed on your machine. So they come on the Linux, the Microsoft and MacBook as well. So 3.9.2 is running on. So once you download, they're gonna be the exe file, and then you have to just install it. And once you have installed it, it will give you the Python idle for you. Okay, so this way 3.8. So this is what I have right now. So you guys, once you install it, you must see that the software is being installed. Once the Python is installed, the next thing what we needed was we needed the Python interpreter or Python idle or the software or the tool that is where we will be writing the script. Okay. So let's say Python tools. Okay, so you can see here the PyCharm. So let's look for the PyCharm alternatives. So there are a lot of PyCharm alternative. Python is again a free version. They also come with the premium version, but the free one is more than enough. So this is by the Microsoft guys. If you want to use this, you can go ahead and use this, or Atom, Eclipse. Okay, so these are few options available. So I make use of PyCharm because it's the good one, the best one. So when you go to the download file, again, they come with different variant, Windows, Mac OS, Linux. So there are two versions available. Go and download this one. Sorry, not that. Download this one, the community version, which is freely available. If you go with this will work for 15 days and then it will stop. So you have to uh, buy the premium version. Okay. So it's better go and stick with the community version, and they will never ask you for the license or the purchasement. Once you have the required tool, yeah, regarding PyCharm, it is gonna look like this. Okay. So we write the script here, and we can see all the previous scripting on the left hand side. These are the menus available. Okay, and this is where the project file are located. You can run this script by clicking on these buttons. You have to select which script are you gonna run, because these are all individual scripts. Okay, so this is we will go through all these things. Okay, so once you have Python, you have PyCharm, you should make sure that your PyCharm is calling out the first step number, that is your Python. Okay. If you just forgot to install Python, and if you're trying to run the PyCharm, the 100% it's gonna look for the interpreter, and then it's gonna tell you that there is no suitable interpreter found and it cannot do its job. So you should make sure the step number one was to install Python, right? So install that, then you install PyCharm, so that it will automatically look for Python and it will figure it out. Or else you have to go to the settings. Let's say if you installed it in on different drive, you have to make a way to get this. So this is mandatory. Okay, your PyCharm should be integrated with Python. So once you have this, the third thing what we called out was router and switches, which we will give you. The software will be given you the complete VM or the complete thing, so you can just power on the boxes. Okay. All right. Now time to write the script. So if you see here, these are some scripts which we developed recently for my another batch. Before I start with something from scratch, let me show you the power of the scripting. Okay, so this scripting, in short, I'm just walking through this. Okay, we actually go and write them line after line in the class, but now that's not feasible because you guys are not familiar with the scripting, right? So right now I'll just go and walk through what we did here. So we defined all the IP addresses here. They consisted of the Cisco routers, switches, or any devices, any multi-vendor devices. These are called as netmiko class, where we define the IP addressing with the username, password. We fetch the two output, show version and show interface, and from that two commands we did some regex query. I was talking about the regex, right? The regular expression. So we wrote the regex queries, and once these queries were written, we imported them in the CSV file. Okay, so if you want to see this in action, let me show you. So you see here, this is an empty folder as of now. Okay. Also, I don't think all of my devices are powered on. So what I'll do is I'll power on them. It will take like 1 minute because these are these L3 switches, which take little more time than the simple routers. So once these all switches, L3 switches are up, then we will execute this. So end result should be that I have a beautiful CSV file with me, which I'm ready to give it to my next team or my management team. Or let's say I have a call in 1 hour and I'm presenting this report to my customer. So he don't understand the generic commands. He don't expect that I show him in the call that this is your interface or this is your show version, and in the show version this is the uptime or this is the image path. He That is not the right way to present during the call, right? So there should be a systematic way. So that is what I'll do it quickly, and I'll create one report. It See, there are so many devices, and when I run this, it will take me like 10 to 20 seconds to get them executed, and I can uh, present it in my own way to the customer. Okay. So let's see if this all devices are powered on. Okay, some might be not running because of the scarcity of the resources, because each one is gonna take 1 GB. Okay. Or the key point is you have to enable them one after one, so that once the iOS extraction and the boot up sequence happens, they get stabilized, and then there is some free up resources, and then you can power up the other one. Even during your labs, when we provide our lab sessions to you guys make use of the same concept. Don't power on everything, just power on those boxes which is required for that particular script. Guys, I see one question. How about PyCharm alternatives? Integration is not required. Integration is required for all these Python interpreter. Okay, so they come with their own fancy UI, user interface, but then in the backend the integration should happen. So I'm expecting this router come up, and then we can push that script and we see how that works. I also see one question put up that was regards to the applet, whether these routers have inbuilt SMTP or all those questions. Well, router will not have any inbuilt SMTP, but we have to point it to an external SMTP which is kept in the production. Okay. Normally, most of the enterprise will have will maintain their own mailbox. So from this router, we have to point it like your NTP server or DNS server or any DHCP server. We just point it to an external. Similar way, SMTP will be pointed, and using that SMTP is these mails sent. Okay. So if you don't have SMTP, like in my case, in my lab, there is no SMTP server, so I cannot make it full-fledged activated script here. But in production, you guys will make use of your own mailbox to send the emails to the customer. So there will be definitely a SMTP box in your network, right? So you have to point it to that. And whenever these routers will generate the applet syslog messages, they'll rely on that SMTP box, and from there they will push it to the respective stakeholders or customers. So guys, expect 5-10 minutes for this spin up. Okay. Spin up will always take 5-10 minutes. And guys, meanwhile, until this boots up, guys, if you want that PDF which I was demonstrating, which also has the basic commands and all rest of the things here. Okay. It also has the other details about the APIs and the postman, all those things. So if you need this, then you have to drop me an email. Okay. And my email ID I have already shared with you guys. Let me also give it once again. You need to send me an email so that I can reply back. Don't give your email ID here. It will be not feasible for me to copy paste everyone email and send you. Yeah, those who have sent, I will give you after the class. Okay. No, you just drop me today, because this is your demo class, right? So once enrollment happens, then the process is different. We maintain a web portal, and in that web portal, all the recordings and the Google Drive link we share. So you will get all the further documents inside the web portal. We don't share on WhatsApp or email and all those things. All right. So finally, the switch is up. Okay. They are all connected to the DHCP. We have done all the configurations. I'm just waiting for an IP over here. No, anything above 3.x is good. Make sure you're not on the Python 2, because the syntax of Python 2 and Python 3 are different. But once you're on Python 3.1 or 2, or that doesn't matter, they will be all good. Okay. Okay, so I have an IP here. Let's see the IP address on the boxes. Show IP in brief. So I have an IP here. What about switch 8? Okay, no IP yet. I'll try to bounce it. Interface gig 0/0. So 0/0 is my out of management interface. So let me bounce it so that it can take up some IP. I will walk through the lab workbook and lab portal. Okay, don't worry for that. I'll go ahead. I'll log in from a student's account. I hope he has not changed his credentials. So do we have an IP here? Okay, anyway, it's not fetching any IP. We should be good with 2 device for now. Okay, anyway, looks like some DHCP issue, no issues. We have 2 IPs, which is more than enough for us to demonstrate. So what are those 2 IPs? It was switch 3, 191. Okay, 191. And we also had switch 4 with 177. So let me make it 177 and let me take out everything. Okay, so 2 device, what and all things I'm gonna fetch using my regex query. I want the host name. I want the IP address of these boxes. I need the uptime. I need the processor or serial ID. Okay. And I need the image path wherever this image are stored. And was there any reboot and what was the reason for the reboot? And these things will be directly fetched in an CSV file. So this file is not created yet. It's a blank empty folder, which will be triggered or which will be created automatically once I run this. So how did I run? I went to that tab, I clicked on run. Okay. So it says job completed. We can see something coming up. Okay, job completed, and finally exit code with 0. So if you see 0 in the world of Python, it's a meaning of successful. If you see any other code, that means it went unsuccessful. Okay, so right now we are good. We have some file with us, which you saw it coming up automatically. When I just open up this, so let me fetch it here. So this is how the CSV file was generated automatically. Okay. Now this is something which you can present it to any higher authorities. So if you want, you can give a accurate tabs, columns, tables, highlight them, and then you should be good to present or send an email. Okay. So what things are it gonna take it up? It is having host names, IP address, the uptime, the serial number. So these 2 columns are same. Okay, serial number or process ID. You have the image path and then the reload reason for that. Okay, so this is how we go ahead, and we will be going ahead with script after script, and we will be discussing each and every line, what is what is what. So this was one method where we fetch something which we fetch something onto the CSV file. But alternatively, let's say the configs were given to you. Let me tell in that way. Let's say the configs were given to you on an Excel file, and then you want to push it to these boxes. I think I had that somewhere here. Let me see if I can show you the format of that Excel. So we can do that as well, that someone has given you the Excel sheet with the config and then you're pushing it, because nowadays everyone maintain the Excel sheet, right? You can also use text file, or you can also have the config inserted in your script, but that is not a best practice. You will not want your script to be very lengthy, and you do not want those uh, commands to be inside your script, right? You want your script to be minimized. Yes, IP address. You can maintain IP address, but more than IP address, also you can give it in your. You can give it on your Excel file. Okay. Anyway, let me give me 1 minute. Let me go to my web portal so that I can show you the lab module, lab workbook, and I can show you that Excel sheet. Okay, so that you guys know how do the web portal look like. And for regex, we are making use of RE. RE stands for regex or regular expression, and Python by default supports it. Okay, so if you just do a quick look on the RE. Guys, those who are thinking it's all high level, this script was taken after 10, 12 classes of basic classes. Okay, so on the first day we are not gonna touch these things. That is just I'm just showing you what is the potential of these scripting, and what to what extent we can automate. Okay, it's not to straight away take it from this topic. So the first topic I'll take it in 10 minutes. Give me 10 few minutes to also show you a basic script today. Okay, very basic, which will do a simple show run or show IP in brief. Yeah, so this is how the web portal would look like. So enrolled student will get a portal where we give the so these are some my recording videos. Those, so there are certain times when student come and say I have no prior experience, so I have given them the recorded videos so they can go through the Python theory, which will be again covered in the live classes once again. And then when we move towards the live session, so you can see the first class contains the G Drive link, and over here you will have all the lab files, the workbook, the softwares like PyCharm, Python, everything will be provided. So you can go ahead and install it, or we have the backend trainer also who will guide you to do that. Okay, and then all the recording videos will be put up. So we will have a live session, but if in case someone missed it, the live sessions are getting recorded, and then we will place it on the web portal. Okay, and this web portal is lifetime access for you guys. You don't have to pay any recurring charges, monthly based or yearly or anything like that. It's one time given to you, then that's gonna be your own web portal. And for the scripting, they will be placed under the script here. Okay, so this is from the day one class. So you can see it's very simple script. And if you move towards the complex one, so you see we had a lot of regex classes recently done. So let me also show you. Okay, Excel reading, right? Yeah, let's go and check this. Okay, so these are the scripts from the Excel, and this is the format of that Excel file. So let me show you that. Yes, we give username and password. Okay, so wait for the first two classes, and then we will give you. Okay, so this is how the Excel came to you from your change management or your customer, and what they want to do is they want to configure these on the boxes. Now each box can have their own configuration, like router one has its own, let's say, IPsec tunnel. Recently in the beginning we had that discussion, right? So let's say the first router on one side of the enterprise has all the IPsec tunnel configuration here, and the second one has over here. You will define your host name, the IP address, the username, password, and the secret, and whatever vendor it is, and whatever configuration. So right now, this was to configure OSPF. And in the case of OSPF, you know that this command is different for different routers. So first router will have its own router ID, and the second will have its own, right? Now we can automate to push this Excel directly to the Cisco box instead of copying this inside your script, which is actually not a best practice. We can directly push this Excel, and it will get printed to your router or whatever device that you have kept here. Okay, that is why, if you remember, while I was presenting, I said from the scalability point and from the new data center point of view, if you have a new data center where you have thousands of devices which you need to configure, so this is the right way where you can get it done. Every configuration you can place on single row, column, and you can push it. Okay, all IPs are definitely defined here, so you don't have to maintain any other external file. One simple file which will do all the job. Okay, so don't worry guys, it takes some time. It will take at least 10-12 classes for you to get to this level. Okay, so for now, let me go ahead and let me write one basic script. So how do we start? We go to the file, we click on new. We have plenty of option. We will select Python file, and over here I will say a basic netmiko script .py. Py stands for Python extension. Okay, now if you remember, I told you we will not invest our time on writing those 300 lines of code. Instead, we will depend on someone's work. So there is a module or library called as netmiko, okay, which has been already developed, and it's already available for you guys to use it free on your enterprise. So most of enterprise make use of netmiko these days. Okay, we have gone to our local PyCharm setting, and I have already installed the netmiko plugin. So there is where this netmiko is available for me. Okay, so I've already installed this package, and I have the netmiko script with me. Now when I have this netmiko package or the library with me, for first thing I need to do is I need to call that module or that library. Okay, so I make use of from netmiko, and then I will call a inbuilt function of that netmiko code. Okay, so this netmiko is a complete package of 300 lines. So there are certain scenarios when I don't need to call all 300 lines of it, because it can create some overhead. So why don't I call just one block of that package? Okay, so netmiko will have lot of package within it. So let's say It has a role 1. It has got some role 2 to do. Okay. So let's say it has few more functionality with it. Okay, just an example. I don't want to call everything because I know my script is gonna take only role 3, right? So I can just call it as from netmiko import role 3. So where did I get this role 3? I got it from the package. But again, there is no harm if you call the entire netmiko. So when you call the entire netmiko, you're basically calling all the 100 of roles. But again, if you just need one, why are you calling all of them, right? So that's why we will go with the better and the best practice. That is what I told you in the first 10-20 minutes. The skeleton remains the same for every scenario. You will learn to write 10-15 lines, and that 10-15 lines will get repeated to the next script and to the next script. So whatever I'm calling now, that is from the networking point of view, and we will be calling it for every script that we will be developing for netmiko. Okay. So what am I gonna call now here is I'm gonna call connect handler. What connect handler does is it's a role, or it I can call it as a function, which is defined under netmiko, and its role is to find the correct device type. Okay. Because device type is very important in the case of netmiko, because netmiko is gonna support close to 20-30 multi vendors. Okay. If you go to supported platform, and if you look for the platforms support, you can see there are a lot of device and multi vendors that netmiko can support, right? So first thing, when you go and start writing your script, you have to make a way to get the ssh console of any box, right? So how would this is function and this is library. Okay, so this is called as library or module, and this is called as function. Functions are block of code. So how would netmiko know that which type of device it is interacting with? And that will be taken care by connect handler. Okay. So I call from netmiko import connect handler, because other than that, I don't have any function which I need to be called from netmiko, because I'm totally independent to write my own script. I just need that one first level of uh, the thing to be bypassed, that device type. So once I'm through, then I can write my own commands. Okay. So from netmiko import connect handler, then I'll go and define my netmiko class. Okay. Again, these are all repetitive steps. Okay. You see here, I have written that lengthy script to get the CSV output. We still did the same thing, right? The orientation changed now. Now it's within for loop, and here I'm not writing it within the for loop, but the skeleton will remain almost same from script to script. Okay, so that is what you need to clear your doubts first. The how do we write the skeleton? So this is the netmiko class, and we have to define all the parameters like IP address, username, password, the SSH port number, or if there is requirement of the enable password, everything goes inside this. Okay. The main thing first again is device type. I'll go and say unknown. Just for an example, let's say I'm not sure what device I'm going to interact with. And then I'll go and define my IP address. Okay. So what IP am I using? So I can get it from here directly. Okay. So guys, I know you might be thinking, what are this comma, inverted things and all. So from an high level, this is called as the Python's data structure, and this is in the dictionary format. Okay. And in the dictionary format, we have a standard format of writing it. We call it as key value format. So these are called as key, and the inverted commas are the way to write them. we call it as double inverted comma. So these are gonna be key and these are gonna be called as value. Okay. And when you see the assignment operator, that means that's a variable. Okay. Variable is like your empty bowl and empty bowl of data or Python data. So let's say you have some bowl with you and you put some data within that, and that bowl is moving from one location to another location. Now this is going to carry all your data from one side to another side. That is from your PyCharm to your box and back from box to your PyCharm. Okay. So we defined IP. I'm gonna define the username. Okay. We can define it directly here. But again, most of people would say that's not the right way or best practice to define it straight on the script. Okay, but we will do something to get it out. Okay, and then port number. Most of the time, port numbers are always 22 for SSH because these modules, these and netmiko modules, they run over on SSH parameter or SSH protocol. Okay, so I have already enabled SSH on my box. So if you go to line VTY section, so you can see here, I've enabled input all, which will include SSH or telnet. If you can enable only SSH, that's also fine. Okay, because netmiko is gonna take the port number 22 to connect with your box. Okay, now these are all your parameters which is used here in this variable. This is user defined. I can go and give it XYZ123 as well. No harm. Okay. So let's give it as XYZ123. So that's a user defined thing. Once we have defined, now it's time to take SSH. Okay. So let's say this is my CLI. How do I take SSH of my box? I go and I define the IP address 32, let's say 177. Right. So it's gonna prompt me for some private keys. Then I give my username, password, admin. Okay, so password is Cisco. Okay, so I entered a wrong password. So fine, now it's a good one. Okay, so this is how we take a normal SSH, right? So what was the first step? The first step was to initialize SSH. Now, how do I write that inside a script? So there is a way again. Now again, I can call my user defined variable and then I will make use of connect handler. Okay, I'll say connect handler and then I will call my netmiko class. So this together is called as netmiko class. Okay, as per the netmiko author, this is called as netmiko class. So if I copy this and if I call it here, now I have basically integrated this. So there are things that's happening here. One thing is this is gonna unpackage the content. Okay, you see here I gave two asterisk symbol. That is basically doing the work of unpackaging. What unpackaging? It's gonna go and check the different details that you have inserted. Otherwise, if you're not gonna go with unpackaging mode, then there is another way to do that. That is just go and type all of them in this way. Okay, but there is one problem with this. If you go and do this, there is a problem. You know what happens? These and these must be matched. If they don't match, you will be given an error called as out of index or expected values were 4 or 5, but then you have only typed 3 arguments, right? So in a networking world, while you automate, this can lead to an issue because sometimes you go with only the main ones, only the 4 ones, and by some reason you have not changed here, this is now unmatched, these 4 values, and over here you have 5 arguments, they are unmatched, and the script will not run. Okay, or let's say you also added few more details here. Along with port number, you also added some global delay factors. Okay, so let's say you added some seconds of delay, you also added the verbose. Okay, and you also went with some enable secret. Okay, let's say Cisco is my enable secret, or Cisco 123. Okay, now when you do this change, you also accordingly have to do a change over here. And that's a tedious job for someone to go and keep matching the things, right? So instead of taking a risk, you go and put the double asterisk symbol and then call this. Now what happens is, no matter you have 2 or 3 or 10, this will unpackage automatically. You don't have to worry now. Okay. Well, so I'll go ahead and I'll delete these unwanted ones for now. So this is gonna do the unpackaging. We call this as arguments, and this is netmiko class. If you break it up, this is your variable. These are the dictionary Python data structures, and this is where you call your library. And out of that library, you are calling one single function. Functions are the block of codes, and then you just call it up whenever there's a necessity to call that function. Okay, until you use this one, let's say I delete this, now this is not getting triggered up. Okay, this gets triggered up whenever you have called it inside your script. Now you see it's functional. Okay, so this scenario happens with the case of netmiko. When we move towards the other module, like let's say uh, the telnet library, we straight away go and define the telnetlib, because the telnetlib was constructed in such way that there are one single package for a lot of different roles and things. Okay, so here what we do is we normally call the complete thing, because if we don't call the complete thing, the script may not run, or we have to call multiple functions, then there could be 4 different lines, and then a lot of confusions. Okay, so depending upon different script, different modules or different libraries, we have to work along with that. Okay, so in the case of netmiko, we make use of connect handler most of the time. We can go with some snmp in the future. Okay, there are some file transfer functions which I'll show you later on. There are some netmiko authentication exception, those are for error handling. Okay, there are some timeouts. So these are all the functions, and whenever you need, you will call it. If they're not required, then you don't call them. Okay, or if you want to get rid of this whole thing, then just call the entire netmiko module itself. Simple. Okay, that will also work. All right, so these are few things. What happens now? Once we run this, the SSH console should be open, right? Because you're doing SSH, it's gonna get all the data from here, the IP address, admin, username, and password, also the port number defined. So a simple SSH should be happening. Let's say as good as this. Okay, so when you type a password, so as good as this. These are 5 steps. Agree? How many steps are these? These are 5 steps. Your step number 1 was that SSH command. You defined your admin and the IP. The step number 2 was your device prompted you for username. Step number 3 here was you replied back with the answer admin. Step number 4 was again your box prompted you for password, and then final step was you entered your password. So totally 5 steps to and fro. Okay, so in the case of automation, it is to and fro. We have to consider every step. Even device is prompting you for something, right? So that's also considered as one step. Okay, so if I say this was from my side, now the username or the password was being sent from the other way to us, right? Now that has to be also taken care by us. So there are 5 steps involved here to take SSH. So if I run this program by going over here, if I do a right click, okay, so now we got this huge list because we have not defined our Cisco model here. I said I'm not sure about my model. So these are the key words or the codes. What am I using now? I'm using some Cisco platform. So I can pick one from here. So my box is Cisco iOS. Okay. So I'll go here. I'll change this to Cisco iOS and then I'll rerun. So when I rerun, my SSH console should be done and I must get a exit code of 0. That means I'm good so far. Okay, let's commit some mistake. Let's say my admin was not good. I mean, my username was not good. And if I rerun this, now you see, you got a huge list of error here because authentication failed. Okay, that means whatever you have written is a good one. Whatever you went with is a good thing, and you were having a successful SSH prompt with you. Okay, if you want to try with a wrong IP address as well, you can give a try. Now it says that IP not found or authentication failed. Okay, so you see that it's unable to find this. All right, so when you're good with your script, you will get a status code of 0. That means the script went through well. Okay, now it's actually not very easier for me to understand whether my script really went well or not. I gave you the hints that yes, the script went good, but how if I do a quick print statement saying that I have successfully logged in to so and so IP. Agree? And if I rerun this, I must get that statement called as I have successfully logged to so and so box. So that proves that I'm within the box and I'm trying to do something. But let's say if you're still not happy, you can do a quick fetch command. So let's say you go with a user defined variable. You will make use of this connection 123 to send some command. Okay. Go with send command, which is a user executive command, and then type, let's say show version, or if you want to go with that host name thing, you have to be good with your CLI command. You cannot commit mistake there. So I'll go once and check whether what is it going to fetch me. Okay, it doesn't fetch anything. So don't make that mistake. Okay. So under show version, let's see what is the command which can give me this. Okay, so uptime. So the keyword uptime will give me my host name along with the uptime. Okay, so that's the command which I'll use over here. All right, we will rerun. Okay, now reason why we have not fetched it, we have not printing it up. So in Python, whenever you execute something, and if you want to see that on your terminal, you have to print it. Print is something which is gonna give you the text printed on your screen. If you don't do that, The command has triggered in the backend, but then you do not have a visibility to see that. Okay, so I'll add one more print statement, and now I will print that variable 123, because this is a variable which is gonna contain the content of this. So this content is placed inside this empty bowl. Do you remember what I called the variable to be? Variable is a empty bowl. So whatever the content is this inside this empty bowl, and that empty bowl you're taking a print statement. Okay. So if you rerun the script now, then there you go. You can see now this is your host name, which is having so and so uptime. And then you also printed that I have successfully logged into so and so device. Okay. So this is a very basic script where we had only one device, and we are just printing two commands or two statements, one for the show version and the other one is for the a generic command. Guys, connect handler don't have to do anything with the protocol number. Connect handler is related to the device type only. The netmiko is aware about what protocol to be used, and netmiko is designed in port number 22. Okay, so netmiko is a SSH protocol. So by default, it will only consider port number 22. So there are only two ways to connect to the box: SSH or telnet. Okay, telnet being not a best practice, we don't use telnet. Okay, but yes, the telnet library which we have part of this course, that's gonna make use of that telnet port number 23. Okay, which again works only on telnet, which I'll show you. Okay, but rest or most of the libraries, they are developed on SSH protocol, like nornir, paramiko, netmiko, pycharm, scapy, sorry, not pycharm, pyntc, scapy, subprocess. They are all developed to consider 22 by default. That is why I added this statement. For some reason, if you are not going with the port number 22, instead you were going with some custom port number of SSH, you can make use of it. Or by default, they are always gonna be 22. If you want to delete that and if you rerun, your script is still valid, because netmiko is been hard coded to consider 22 itself by default. Okay, so connect handler has nothing to do with the port number. Connect handler has to do with the device type. So what it does is, connect handler will see what device type it is, and accordingly it will start behaving for the rest of the commands. Okay, so if you make a mistake here, let's say if you go and put ftd or something, now rest of the things will not match up. That's the work of connect handler. I will show you in the next class, could be or might be when we start with the class, I'll show you the source code of this. Okay, we will go to the original source file. We will open up the code that is being put up under connect handler, and if you see, it is only going to contain the content of device type. So it is only bothered to know what device type it is, so that it can accordingly work on SSH and rest of the command. So this is very important command. If you don't give this, you are not through. You will get your error here. Okay, so is that clear? Okay, connect one two connection 123 send command. Okay, regarding to this command, so let me simplify this. Okay, so let's say you are asking me for about this thing. If you run this, you see it got executed. If it wasn't executed, then you would not have got a valid code here. You would have got some issues here. But you see now, you ran one code and you're good with it, and unfortunately you were not able to print anything, right? So if you want to print something, how would you print this, right? So what I did was, the whole content I put up under a new variable and that variable was used to print. So that is the correlation of these two lines. Okay, so we printed now. Now again, if you want to break up these two things, this is a netmiko's inbuilt command. Okay, the module or the library that I'm calling, it's already having some internal or inbuilt command. If you just go back till dot, and if you just type S, you can see the different supporting commands that netmiko has to offer. Okay, config set, command timing, config from file, command expect, and save config, right? So these are the different inbuilt commands of the netmiko. I know I just want to send a single command, so I went with send command, and then I defined my parameters. So I said show version and then uptime. Okay, and then I was able to fetch it up. And if you want to know about the first one, that is connection 123, that is your transport channel. Okay, so what logically it happens, or what happens here is, so let's assume this is your PyCharm and this is your router or a switch. What is the first thing that it will do? It will initialize the SSH request. Okay, and then the router has to offer you for username, asking for username, and then your script will add admin, and then again the router is gonna ask you for the password, and then you will type the password Cisco. Now if I just bundle it up, the whole process is happening on a transport channel. We call it as transport channel. Okay, now these transport channel are consist of two things. One is read channel, the other one is write channel. Okay, read is when you're being asked from the other side, because you are here, let's say you are here, and the content coming from the box is read. Okay, this is a read now. Whereas when you write it back, we call it as write, writing over on the transport channel. Similar way, the next step was the router prompted you for password, which is again a read mode. Okay, and now you're writing it back. Now you call it as writing over on the transport channel. Okay, now this transport channel in our scenario, we labeled it as connection 123. Now this is your responsible person who will do all the remaining steps of your PyCharm, like sending of the command. Okay, if you are pushing any file, you can go with appropriate command, config set or config file. So this is your transport channel variable that you defined in your script. This can change in the next script. If you want to go with net connect to label this transport channel, feel free to do that. But remember, then you have to make use of this to send, write, or whatever you will do in the further scripts. Okay, so that's the name that you have assigned to the transport channel. So you see here, I had assigned connection 123, which is my name for my transport channel, and that transport channel I used to send the command. Okay, and then we just went through and we are good with this. Okay, so guys, we will wind up in another 5-10 minutes, and rest we will take up in the next class. So let me just go ahead and show you the rest of the presentation. In the next class, the Zoom bridge remains the same. Okay, and we will start sharp 9 a.m. tomorrow. And if you see if you see my other presentation here, this is the lab which you would get. And the third method to automate was the API programming. And in the devnet topic, we will cover the postman method to take the SD-WAN controller as an example, and we will automate it via APIs. Okay. And this is an instructor-led batch starting from the next weekend. Today and tomorrow is your demo classes. And we will start once again from the scratch with the basic installation and basic home lab setup. So let's say today is 20 March and Saturday, Sunday we started, and it's gonna be 9 a.m. to mid noon 12, okay, which is 3:30 a.m. UTC. It's gonna be 1 to 1.5 month of the program, daily 3 hours of session. And these are some ground rules that we will follow. We will start sharp 9 a.m. It's gonna be live Saturday, Sunday. We will do lab and theory sort of thing, practice. Okay, we have 100 of networking script focused on Cisco, Juniper, Arista, and Linux. Okay, I'll give you a lot of assignments so you can start working practically as well. Okay, you will get the lab server access. You will get these after class support if you're stuck somewhere. You will be given with the cheat sheet for the Python theory. You will get the complete Cisco DevNet notes and all the complete and the course complete certification as well. Okay, so I was going through the web portal, right? So here you have all the devnet notes and all those things available. So this is the PDF copy for the Python, and the devnet is also, I have close to uh, kind of 100 pages of the devnet notes as well. Let me pull it up. It should be in some drive. I don't want to complicate on the very first demo class. Okay, I I want the students to come to the second day as well. So what do you feel? I mean, is it easy? Do you think you can grab this? I'll unmute you guys parallelly. If you have any question, you can also ask me. So what do you think? Do you think yourself comfortable and you think you can grab it?
Yeah, Sagar, we can.
Okay. Okay.
Certainly.
So this is the devnet notes which are like total 100 pages. Okay. You will also get this along with the course.
And
Where
Sagar, one doubt, like I just
yes.
showed like no PyCharm alternatives like Visual Studio and Eclipse, Autumn. So same way, how you showed us like integrate with the uh, integration part. So same way we have to. Can you show us like any alternatives how to integrate like?
Okay, but is there any challenge getting with the PyCharm, or you are
No,
using
no,
some
because
of?
no, PyCharm is not a free version, right? Like I think something
No,
you
no,
told
it's a
like we are
free. It's
free,
a
yeah.
free
Okay,
version. It's
okay,
a
then
totally
fine.
free. I'm using for like 2-3 years, and I have it's never prompted me for entering any key file or any license so far. It's all free.
Oh, then fine. Okay, fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to use the community edition. That's the only requirement.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Make use of community. Don't by mistakenly get that professional, because that will prompt you for license every year and then.
Fine, Sagar. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I installed that PyCharm, Sagar, but
Okay.
how I can install the libraries? You told that netmiko like that you showed, right? Is
Yeah,
there
you have
is there
to go to
any
the
procedure? Mm-mm.
yeah, you have to click on the files and you have to click on the settings, and then you have that plus symbol here.
Okay.
This plus symbol.
Plus symbol.
Okay. So just search for, can you see the plus symbol I put up here on my screen?
Yeah, but my PyCharm version is different, I think so.
Okay.
So
It is
as of now,
showing even left side. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think I
that
am
plus symbol.
also getting the unsupported Python 3.1.
Okay. No
Okay, in
worries.
that plus symbol,
Then you have to search for the netmiko.
so as of now,
oh,
we
it
require
is
only
art.
netmoko.
Yeah,
Okay.
just download netmiko. What it does is netmiko will download all the dependency files. Okay, so netmiko internally will download lot of things. So if you see these many plugins with me, I seriously have not downloaded all of them. So these were all automatically downloaded when I uh, downloaded these netmiko or nornir. So the dependency file will automatically get downloaded. So you
So
just have to download netmiko, that's all.
okay.
Okay, so if you go to the netmiko portal, netmiko website, so here, see, this is the way. If you are a Linux or the Mac terminal, then you have to make use of this to download netmiko. You can alternatively, if you don't want to make use of any interpreter or IDE to write your script, you can also make use of the terminals. Okay, so on a Windows, it's not possible because they don't have the background of Linux. But if you are a Linux terminal or a MacBook terminal, you can directly install netmiko here itself, and then you can start writing with that text editor, like vi stands for that text editor, right? So you can write it and you can also push it from there. I'll show you that example also. Okay, because sometimes you might be on the jump server and you don't have option to install pycharm. So in that case, you can directly have it on your terminal, and from there you can run it, you can execute these scripts.
Hi Sagar.
Yeah.
So from next week, you will be starting from scratch. Like if anybody is not aware of Python and other things.
Yeah, so I'll just also take 2 minutes to go with the day-wise agenda. So when we meet up on the next Saturday, okay, that would be your day one, and we will start with some basic of Pythons, where I'll talk about the variables. We can talk about little bit on the data structure of Python. Okay, and then we will also go and set up the home lab setup, where I'll show you the PyCharm, Python, and the GNS EVNG if you want. Okay, and how do you bring these routers and switches. Once, let's say, once we are good with this, then from day two, we can write some basics, some basic netmiko scripting. Okay, it will be very basic, the basic like these script, 5-6 lines, what we had today. And you can, and then you will see me doing a lot of developments here. Let's say if someone asks me to take out these things out of my script, because revealing username and password is not a best practice. Okay, so you can go ahead and do a lot of enhancement to an existing script itself. So we'll say input, enter your username, and we'll take out this, enter the password. Okay, and now if you execute this, now it's prompting me here instead of writing anything there. Okay, so let me say, and username is admin, password is Cisco, and then I should be good with it. So we will do day wise enhancement. Okay, so everything is not doable on just single class. That is why I said on day two we will start with some scripting, and the same script we will do some enhancements. Okay, and day three again more of the best practices. Okay, and then day four onwards we can start working on some uh, multiple commands, if you want to push multiple commands, or if you have multiple IPs, or if you want to have an external text file where you want to put all these IPs, or let's say you have the configs on your notepad, external notepad, and so on. Okay, so it will be all related relative to one to other class. Okay, so on day one itself, I will not come and show you some CSV or Excel, so that will not happen. Okay, it will go with the scratch level.
Okay.
Sagar,
All
I'm a
right,
bit confused.
yes, any
Do
doubt,
we have a
guys?
class? Yeah, do we have class tomorrow? You mentioned
Yeah,
like 7.
tomorrow is again a demo class.
Demo.
If you
Okay.
want, you can attend. So I'm gonna tomorrow I'm gonna show you the multi-vendor support. Okay, so one single support which will be written to connect to Cisco box. We will have Juniper, we will have ASA, and we can just do just a simple send command. Okay.
Yeah. Sagar.
And
Yes.
So we have totally around 5 or 6 weeks, right? So how are we breaking up this? I mean, how many weeks would it be for Python, Ansible? Any breakup you have?
See, Python is gonna be the most the highest carrying percentage which Python would, because there are 7 modules here,
Mm-hmm.
and let's
So in
say,
terms of
yeah, let's say in terms of weekends or in terms of classes, I need for netmiko close to 13-14 classes if it was 1 hour of session. Okay, so it takes 14 classes each 1 hours, and then we move towards
You can convert
the,
into our weekend batches, right?
sorry.
so 4 days, is it? I mean 2 weekends approximately.
Kind of. If it is a 3 hours of session, then we can reduce it to 2 weekends or something like that. 2 or 3
Okay.
weekends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So netmiko, telnet, paramiko, pyntc, scapy, subprocess, and nornir with the Python modules. So each one, let's say one weekend, that is Saturday, Sunday, kind of. Okay. So these are all weekends what I'm writing here. Paramiko, let's say 1 weekend or 2 weekends. Okay. A rough number just for your knowledge purpose. But of course, it most of the time it just get varies as per the level of student they grab the things. Okay, so I don't want to rush it, and I don't want to stick with these numbers, so I'll see how it goes and then we will go ahead. Okay, and then when we have ansible, which is a 2 weekends, we will have the python 3 theory, which will go again for 2 weekends, at least 10 hours. And then comes the devnet topics. Again, that's 100% coverage, so it will go kind of 3 weekends might be. So three is yeah, 10 hours, close to 10 hours. Is difficult for me to predict in terms of weekend, so I can say 10 to 12 or 13 hours. So yeah, so this is how it would look like, which might go till 1.5 month minimum, or it might go till 2 months. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you take up my Monday to Wednesday batch, it usually goes to 2.5 months or 3 months, because we take only 1 hour of session there.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Here
just
advantage is we have a wider session range, so we can complete in 1.2 to 1.5 to 2. Yes, go
okay.
ahead.
So see, I registered through Netmetric. So what is the difference? Is it your tie-ups internally, or how is it?
Yeah. So that is all backend thing. So you can ping me separately for that. So, or you
Mhm.
directly talk to them, okay, about the next enrollment process.
No, I'm already enrolled. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
so
asking.
that's fine. So you can talk to me in the backend,
So
okay. I think I've
okay.
dropped you email today morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can come back to me. I will take it forward, okay.
Okay.
It's a Saga. This is Rajan here. It's the same with me. I've come
Yeah,
through
you guys,
Netmetrics.
you guys talk to me after the class.
Okay.
Okay.
We are connected over the emails, right? So you just
Okay.
reply me, and
Okay.
I'll let you know the next procedure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
regarding fees and all, guys, we don't discuss that on the live class. I would request
Yeah.
you just write an email to the backend team, and they will help you with this. So this is my backend team. Okay, if you want, you take a quick snip of this, make use of that snipping tool, and take the screenshot and email us. Okay. So guys, tomorrow the agenda is the script what we discussed today, the basic script. Uh, we will enhance that. We will add few more best practice there, and I will show you how do we integrate the script with the other vendors. Okay, there are a lot of vendors available. So considering the best ones, that Juniper or Arista or a ASA box, I will show you that multi-vendor is supported in the case of automation. Okay.
Yeah. So one last thing, technical thing. So whatever we do with Python, it's just through the CLI of the device itself, you are doing the configs. But whatever is an API, you do it using things like JSON or YAML, which that particular device understands. Is that the
Yes.
main difference?
See, now again, that is a different concept. Okay. So when you have, let's say, when you talk about these legacy boxes, like Cisco or Juniper, whatever, whichever is gonna make use of these CLI. So for these boxes to automate, we need the Python's ID specially, and then we can write some script here, and then we can push it. Now, how is the push happening? Is push is happening on the SSH transport protocol. But
Yeah.
when it comes to these application layer of management, like vmanage or the DNAC or these APIC controllers, they don't work on SSH. They have the API concepts, okay, like netconf and REST API. So using those protocols as consideration, we will make use of another application called as Postman, and these application now make use of the HTTP operations like get, post, and all. So this application will make use of get or post, and then accordingly work with these. So these two things are two different methods of automating. You're in one side you're automating the CLI boxes, other side you're automating an application type of controllers.
So DevNet covers the later part of it, right?
Yes, and the devnet part we will be discussing these Postman and these API things.
Okay,
And
great.
in the former part is all your CLI, which you will be good with, when we reach to the devnet part.
Okay. And
Okay.
Ansible, it's just a playbook.
Ansible, I can again call it here. So see, like how we have this EIGRP versus OSPF, both are a IGP protocol. Both are used for the LAN segment convergence, right? EIGRP versus OSPF. Similar way, Python versus Ansible, you can call it out. Some enterprise make use of Python module, and some make use of Ansible. So it's all their personal choices, which one they want.
So
Some
it is
prefer.
still CLI.
Yes, it is again CLI, but these both have the API integrations also.
Okay.
So yeah, they have API integration as well, and they have the CLI integrations as well.
Okay. So you need
Yeah.
to call appropriate library.
Yes. We have to call appropriate library, and in the backend of these Cisco boxes, we have to enable appropriate protocol. So for SSH, I went to line VTY and I enabled SSH, or I will enable telnet. In a similar way, if I have to enable netconf for HTTP, then I have to make use of the respective commands to enable those protocols as well. So depends on what protocol you enabled on the backend switches, and similar way what are you going to write and over on your front end.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
How we can access the recorded video? of today's session?
See, for today, the recording video is happening straight away on our YouTube channel. So you can just go ahead and watch it again. So this is the live streaming. But after the next weekend, it will be placed on only on our web portal. Okay. So those who have enrolled will get access to this, and you guys will be having the lifetime access to the web portal videos. So all the
Uh,
your scripts, softwares, and all the lab materials will be directly placed here.
How about the lab access? Will
lab
we get
access la-
slots?
lab access will be for 3 months, okay, if you're using our server. But if you want it locally, then we will give you our gns project file, and we will give you the evng unl file. You will get all these instance free to download, just a simple registration. You will get all these from the respective vendors. Okay, we will help you, because we have a dedicated lab trainer who will take you on a webex or a zoom, and he will help you to set up these labs locally on your machine.
So if I want to use your server, that'll be a slot, right? I mean, would that be available 24/7? Because a lot of people are there.
Yes, it will be available.
Okay, that's great. Thanks.
Sagar,
Yes.
one question, Sagar. Like, as you said, like, no, for API, like integration, like API, when we are using APIs, like, I mean, for ACI, DNAC, and for we manage. Okay. So you said, like, no, we are going to do with labs with Postman, right? Postman tool.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Suppose, like, no, for legacy, you said, like, no, suppose you want to get a device inventory, like which devices, which VHS or CHS are up, and what is the serial number, kind of CSV format. Again, in the background, we need to integrate kind of Python or Ansible code to the this APIs, or how it is.
No, we can bring the script directly in the postman itself. So
Okay.
we
How?
you have a provision of writing the script, the python scripting inside postman, and you can call it from there.
Okay, only through a Postman only possible, or anything else we can use,
No,
like?
there are a lot of software, but Postman is like your PyCharm available for free. So most of the
Okay.
enterprise make use of Postman's, either the paid version, or if you're an individual, then you can make use of the community version. Like we have the PyCharm. Postman
Okay.
is also similar fundamentals, that they have two versions, and available for open source.
Okay, then you mean to say for legacy, what and all we can able to do with, I mean, netmiko kind of library with Python. So same way with Postman for APIs, we can do with vmanage and DNAC,
Yeah.
ABIC also. Okay.
Yes. I will show you this
Fine.
as an example in the devnet topics. Okay.
Fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Sagar, I got questions. In regard to the file for the if
Yes.
to build up the lab, is it going to be if community or is it if professional?
It's gonna be community version, because most of student will not have the pro version, and might be our UNL may not be compatible. So we will give you the community version, and you can feel free to develop if you have a pro version. You can change the link style and all those things.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, we have 2 more minutes. Anyone has any doubt?
So for the next week, I will automatically get the link and access and everything, right? Or should we write up to write?
Write me back to the email, or write back to your vendor or whoever you came through, and they will guide. Okay, so I'm in touch with them, so they will let you know the next process. And those guys who are coming directly, then you have to make use of the contact button to contact me. Okay.
Hey Sagar, this is Pramod. What happens if if you're not able to continue for the
you get a free
demo?
retake.
Okay.
I didn't get you. If you're not able to get free,
not able to continue for this this session. I mean, maybe in the mid of the session, I'm not able to continue, and
you get the free retake. Okay, everyone get the free retake, not you. Those who have enrolled, and if you want to retake from the scratch in the next batch, you will get the free retake.
Okay. And just one last question: is there any evening session happening as well apart from the weekend batch?
I have one Monday to Wednesday batch, but already 15 classes are done over there. So the next batch would be after 2 months for that time slot.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So this is only one batch which is starting from scratch now.
Okay, so again, this session it will be every day, and it will be in at 9 o'clock, right, by India time.
It will be only Saturday and Sunday weekend batch.
Only Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and 9 to 12 Indian time.
Okay.
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 Yeah, because most of the guys would be not working on weekends, so I kept 3 hours of session. Because another problem with weekend is if we lose one weekend, the next class would be after an week after which would delay a lot. So we have to pick up somewhere, right? So 3 hours of session so that we can complete it in 1.5 to 2 months easily. Otherwise it will drag to 5 months, and then you guys will lose your interest on learning the things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how about if we miss a class on a week, say on Saturday, and we get to see the recording on the same night? And
Yes.
could
You
we?
will get on the same day. So before you come to the next class, you will have the recording inside the portal.
And we'll be able to see the recording of only the class that we are registering for, and not the previous ones, right?
Yes, previous one will not make any difference, right? I mean,
Okay.
you will not even understand if without we went through that. I don't have any problem including it, but you will not understand anything. So I'm only giving these Python theory, which is just a basic. So you have 1 week of time. So those make the enrollment. You guys will get these recorded ones, and you can watch it and be like prepared for the next Saturday. So we can start. You know what is variable, what is print, what is numbers or data structure. So these will be already put up in the portal.
Okay.
All right, guys. So, guys, the bridge for tomorrow is the same one that you used today, and we are starting at 9 a.m. Okay, so let's meet up in the next class, and till then, have a nice day and stay safe. Okay,
Okay.
have a nice day.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saga.
Thank you,
Bye.
Saga.
Thank you all. Thank you, Saga. Bye.
See ya.
You. Bye.